Listening. 1.
So, how did you get into that line of work then?
Well, it was strange really, because I used to be a dental nurse and I'd started to find it all a bit repetitive and predictable and wanted to kind of stretch myself a bit. And then one day I was chatting to this old friend of the family and she suggested that I quit and retrain, so I did. And I haven't looked back since.
Oh, that's great. You're lucky that you enjoy your job so much.
I am, I know. I set up on my own about 2 years ago now, and the practice has just been growing and growing. People come along for a massage or some shiatsu or aromatherapy or whatever, and they leave feeling all calm and chilled out. And then they tell their friends and word of mouth does the rest. It's been brilliant.
Oh, that's great. So, what's this course you're doing then?
Oh, the acupuncture course? Yeah, that's great. I'll have finished by September, and then I'll be a fully qualified practitioner. So, another string to my bow.
2. So when did you first find out?
Well, I was diagnosed about 4 years ago. I had this mole on my leg and it got all red and itchy and had this strange kind of crust on it, and I knew I should really get it looked at. But I put it off, and then eventually I went in. The doctors didn't seem to think there was anything much wrong with it. They just removed it and sent it away to be analysed. I went in a few weeks later just for a routine checkup, and that's when they broke the news to me. It just came completely out of the blue. I was devastated, I really was. You just never really think that kind of thing can happen to you, you know.
No, I can imagine. God.
And then they put me on this experimental drugs trial, which was a blessing in disguise in a way. It meant I avoided having to go through chemo, and it's all turned out okay, really, because it went into remission a year or so ago, and I've been feeling much better since then.
That's amazing. So being a guinea pig really worked then?
So far it has done, yeah. Fingers crossed. But I'm not taking anything for granted. I mean, you never know, and you might have a relapse.
3.
Did you hear that thing on the news this morning about dieting?
No, what was that?
Oh, it was great news for me. They said it's actually really bad for you. If you're a bit on the plump side, and then you lose too much weight, it can really do you in.
Huh? How did they work that out?
Well, apparently, it puts a real strain on your heart, the sudden change. And to think, I've been killing myself trying to get rid of this belly for weeks now.
No, you must have misheard it, mate. It can't be right. Are you sure they didn't just say, it's good for you?
I'm positive. I'm going for another burger to celebrate. Do you want anything?
4.
So how did it go the other day? The dinner with Dan's parents?
Oh, no. I haven't spoken to you since then, have I? God, what a night that was.
That sounds a bit ominous. What happened?
No, it was all a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. His mum was totally weird. She seemed really hyper and odd when we arrived, and she was fussing around all the time. But then she suddenly started screaming at Dan when he said he didn't want any dessert, and then she burst into tears. It was all pretty heavy.
It sounds it. So, what was all that about?
Well, apparently, she's only just managed to get off sleeping tablets. She'd been hooked on them for years, and she'd been taking more and more and more, and then about 3 months ago, she decided to quit, and she just stopped cold, and has been struggling to cope ever since.
So, she's going through cold turkey then?
Yeah, it's horrible to see, though. I felt awful for her.